Is there really a point in having inclusive education? Or is it just for a show?
Big changes are coming to De Smet Jesuit High School. Starting this fall, it's launching an inclusive education program for young men with intellectual disabilities. 5 on your side's Elise Schoening joins us in studio after learning more about this program today. Elise?
Students who are part of this program will have their own classroom space, and they'll have the constant guidance of the program director and peer mentors. It's a school-wide initiative that reminds everyone they have a seat at the table. Schools meet students where they are.
This opportunity was a gift that came to us.
Father Ronio Dwyer says De Smet Jesuit High School is taking this concept one step further.
Pope Francis has constantly been talking about building cultures of inclusion to make sure that people with all sorts of disabilities are included in what we do as a church.
The brand new inclusive education program supports this guidance from the Pope.
We're all together when we're learning, we're all together when we're socializing, we're all together when we're eating our lunch, passing in the hallways. It should be more fluid.
Sarah Patton is the director of the new program.
Again, with the sensory notion too.
She says students will be supported by peer mentor models socially and academically.
I think it's going to be impactful in ways that the De Smet students don't even realize that they needed it to be.
Other school leaders say the goal is twofold.
That all of our students learn a greater sense of empathy, and that for the students that are joining in the inclusion program specifically, that they feel fully integrated into the community.
Principal Kevin Pelker says he hopes the community finds its role too. Some students have already found ways to help.
I just want them to realize it's a new thing, but it's also a big step in a really positive direction.
Incoming senior Jaron Jackson signed up to be a program mentor.
Following my example, they'll try to be more inclusive and understanding.
Schools meet students where they are, and this program fights for each one to have a seat at every table. As of now, there are already 2 students enrolled in this program and 16 student mentors who will start training for it this summer.
Inclusivity is a significant topic we all have been fighting for. Inclusion and equality. Fair treatment for everyone, regardless of your skin color, your nationality, your mother tongue, and even disability. May it be emotionally or physically ill, anyone deserves a morally good treatment and opportunities. What's the point of having inclusive education? Does it cater to all the needs of the children who have special needs? Does it really embody what it should have to be? The program is indeed a good plan to every child who wants to learn, to each of them who have the gift of knowledge to explore things. The real question here, are we ready to embrace inclusive education? Or is this greed covered into compassion, resulting in putting up a show to citizens? According to Muga 2016, in the Philippines, both in the cities and in remote or rural areas, many public schools remain ill-equipped. This could be one of the reasons why many general education teachers in the Philippines doubt their capacity to teach in an inclusive school. To implement such a huge program needs better equipment and capability. Otherwise, we'll have to accept that they will be spread too thinly in an inclusionary setting, because the presence of students with special needs in an oversized group of students, if taken seriously, requires the preparation of more than one lesson plan. While the inclusion policy has already been adopted in the Philippines, many school teachers have yet to fully appreciate the value of inclusive education.
Furthermore, a Philippine news company, Rappler, which focuses on talk discussing issues to inspire conversations and community engagement, featured challenges of inclusive education, with the theme of Opening Minds and Heart, beneficiary of inclusive education, Sarah. In this program, Sarah, a girl with cerebral palsy, talks about her experiences in inclusive education. According to her, inclusive education has greatly affected both her academic performance and social well-being. Surrounded by her peers who share similar circumstances, she developed a sense of belongingness, which she rarely experienced in regular classroom settings, where bullying often becomes a norm for learners with disabilities. However, can it be truly called inclusive education if the learners with disabilities are being grouped in a separate classroom? Would such a setup still be called inclusivity? Inclusive education is often promoted by many schools through policies, slogans, and programs, but the reality within the classroom tells a different story. The systems, resources, and facilities pertaining to practice inclusive education are all incomplete. The lack of training for teachers to effectively handle diverse learning needs and the inconsistent systems sustaining the needs of inclusive learning are all present in the educational structure of the Philippines. Additionally, the insufficient individualized support, empathy, and collaboration among the teachers and parents are also present, as it takes away the recognition of students' potential that can be observed in different classroom settings. In conclusion, although inclusive education was for a good cause, it needs consistent and sincere implementation. For some of the institutions only see it as a vision, but not a mission. Thus, without proper training, the genuine intention and adequate facilities all become nothing but just for a show. For the inclusion to be true, it requires more than just words and appearances. Beyond the articles, slogans, and articulations that proclaims equal rights and opportunities for all learners regardless of one's capabilities, race, background, and nationality. It should be visible within the four corners of classrooms, in teachers' approaches, and lastly, on students' hearts. Until then, inclusive education will remain a pipe dream, a make-believe system hiding the reality that education is not yet fully embracing of all.